Hey there, my friend. Welcome to today's video. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi, founder here at the Fit Mother Project and the Fit Father Project. And you may have heard that sitting is the new smoking. And there's a lot of truth to that statement. There are some serious health dangers of sitting too long, and I want to cover those in today's video. I want to cover some of the physiology and the science of why sitting actually negatively affects the spine, the heart, fat burning, all these things. And I also want to talk a little about the philosophy of the human body and how we're built to move. I know you're going to learn a ton in this video. We're going to give you some actual advice on what you should be doing if you are feeling like you're sitting a lot, how to get up, get going, and stay healthy for life. Let's dive into today's video. All right, so let's get into today's video on the dangers of sitting too long. There was a meta-analysis involving over 1 million people studied that showed that those who sat for 8 hours throughout the day had a similar risk of dying as those who smoked or were obese. And this is where the sitting is the new smoking kind of came from. There is a serious health risk that happens when we do prolonged sitting. And this is because these human bodies, we are built to move. Movement stimulates our breathing, it stimulates our circulation, and blood flow and oxygen are essential to our health. And when we're sitting for a long time, a lot of problems happen with the body. The first one is the spine. The spine is this axis of our bodies. And as we sit, what happens is there's a little jelly layer in between each of the segments of our spines called our discs. And those discs get compressed. And when those discs compress, we often have nerve issues, back pain, spasming muscles. The problem is with sitting is it increases disc pressure by up to 50%. And what that does is actually causes those nerves that exit out the side of the spine to not work as well. And again, causing a lot of sciatic pain, back pain that so many people suffer with. And if we're overweight, that pressure on the discs increases to 300%. A lot of pressure on those discs, which causes a lot of problems. But it's not just the back pain issues with sitting, it's also that it's actually affecting our metabolism. See, inside the arteries of our legs in particular, we have an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase. And what this enzyme's job is to do is to break down fat and help our bodies use that fat and burn it for energy. The problem is when we sit, that lipoprotein lipase activity gets decreased by like 95%. A dramatic decrease from the sitting, and it's really because our bodies were built to move. We're built to constantly be moving, and these leg muscles are postural. They're built to be supporting our posture. And when we sit for a prolonged period of time, lipoprotein lipase does not work as well. And this is probably an underlying factor into why sitting is actually affecting some of these heart conditions, like increasing strokes, increasing diabetes, increasing high cholesterol, etc. So we have spine issues, we have lipoprotein lipase issues. Circulation does not work as well when we're sitting. Our body is really fueled by this heart pump. Our heart is meant to be pumping to circulate that blood throughout this entire system, and the movement of our leg muscles actually returns that blood from those veins in the legs back up to the heart. That's why if you ever fly in an airplane for an international flight or a long flight, they tell you to get up, move your feet, flex your calves, because they don't want blood to pool in the lower legs, causing a clot, like a deep vein thrombosis, a DVT, something that can be potentially very dangerous. The thing is, when we're sitting throughout our normal days, if we sit for like 8+ hours, we're getting a similar effect. Certainly we're not exacerbated by the altitude, but we're not pumping that blood back up to the heart. And what happens? When that blood's not getting pumped up, oxygen's not getting into that blood as well, it's not going to our brain as well. This whole circulation pump requires activity, particularly in the leg muscles, to get up and going. And this is from that research that showed that if you're sitting for more than 7 to 8 hours a day, you get this increased risk of all sorts of different diseases and mortality. Showed that if you're sitting for 8 prolonged hours, it would take 60 to 75 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every single day to offset those risks. So daily activity can offset those risks, but prolonged sitting is such a serious problem for our health that it requires over an hour to an hour and 15 minutes of fairly vigorous exercise daily to offset the negative impacts of sitting too long. So the key is to get up and break up the sitting. It's not to sit prolonged. To give yourself every hour to get up, even for 2-3 minutes, to flex your calves, to move, to take some deep breaths through your nose, to get the circulation moving. That is going to really interrupt that prolonged sitting that is so dangerous for our spines, for our hearts, for our metabolism. So we need to get moving, and especially if you feel like you're a person who has a busy job, you're sitting at work, you're sitting on your commute, and you don't have time to exercise. So think about this concept. We've done videos on this on our Fit Mother and Fit Father Project channels of micro workouts. And that's the idea, is you don't need to spend an hour every day exercising. You could do little 3 to 5 minute chunks throughout the day. Let's say every hour or every 2 hours, you say, say we do 2 minutes of jumping jacks, we do 25 push-ups, and 15 to 20 air squats. At the end of the day, you might have accumulated 15 to 20 minutes of exercise that you wouldn't have normally done through prolonged sitting. Plus, you get the benefits of the better circulation, the better oxygenation. So in summary, the human body is not built for prolonged sitting. It's bad for our spine, causes back pain, which makes us not want to move and exercise. It's a vicious loop. It's bad for our metabolism. So we have that lipoprotein lipase activity that's decreased. Our circulation's not working as well as those leg muscles are not pumping it up, and we're not breathing deeply. Our bodies are built to move. Me personally, I have a standing adjustable desk. I spend a good amount of time every day in a standing position. And also when I do sit, I have a nice chair with good posture. Because again, if you are sitting for a long time, it's not just the effects we talked about, it's also the fact that what happens is the head goes forward like this background's like this, and we get stuck in this kind of tight position. This restricts breathing, it restricts blood flow, it makes us very tight and tense. People who often have headaches and migraines are stuck in this forward head flexion position. That's why we need to stretch, we need to open up, we need to move. The key is to do that, even for a few minutes. Every hour on the hour is going to be a tremendous benefit to your health, especially if you have a job that requires you to sit for a long time. So even vigorous exercise cannot offset, unless you're doing it for over an hour, pretty much an hour and a half per day, the health dangers of prolonged sitting. So the solution is to get up and move. Even in micro increments, it's going to help your health tremendously. Hope you found this video valuable, my friend. If you learned something new, if you got motivated to maybe move a little bit more, hit the like button. That little like button below this video. It helps our channels grow tremendously. It helps spread this message across the YouTubes, and that really helps everyone who needs to hear this message. And if you enjoyed this, you want more videos on health, fitness, nutrition, weight loss, how to make this health stuff simple and sustainable, then subscribe to our Fit Mother and Fit Father Project YouTube channels. We're growing like crazy. We have tons of amazing videos, 500 plus. When you subscribe, you get access to all of that, and you can even get notified if you check that little bell when we publish new videos. Publish a couple per week. Thanks for being here, my friend. Get up, move, keep your body healthy, take those deep breaths. Again, my name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi from the Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project. I'll see you around our channels, and I'll talk to you very soon.